So we're going to start here. Incompleted passes in the opponent's half since his debut, which is a year ago. The most, 340. So you look at that and you go, Donny's giving the ball away all the time.
This is my favourite topic in
football.
football.
Come on, keep hold of the ball.
Exactly.
Possession.
Everyone's looking at that. He's given the ball away more than all of these guys on this list. But what have they all got?
More than De Bruyne.
But what have they all got in common, Mark? Tries, passes, tries, passes, tries, passes. They're all trying things. You know, when you look at that, it's very simplistic to say, well, this guy's having an absolute mare. He gives the ball away more than anyone in European football. This is a selection of Bruno Fernandes, good and bad. So we're going to see some good bits from him. We're going to see some bad bits from him. And that's what happens when you play in that position, Dion. You can't just be, we call it a crab. You can't be a crab and have 95% pass completion by passing the ball 5 yards, 10 yards.
So what you mean by crab is sideways?
Yeah, sideways.
Just keep it safely, pass it sideways.
I could play the game now and have close to 100% pass completion by going 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard and doing nothing. Look what he's trying to do. Accept if you're a forward, Dion, he's going to misplace a pass or two.
Yeah, listen, he always looks forward. If the ball's not going forward, he's running forward. So he's always positive with it. Look at it, he's doing what we call, he just lends it. He just lends
involved,
it.
Isn't he?
Look at his trail.
He's involved in the play.
And he goes again. He just wants to make things happen going forward.
Yeah, he's trying to get Wan-Bissaka in down the side there.
Absolutely.
Well, we have to remind people that the greatest player in the world at the moment, or all right, maybe Ronaldo, you can have your own debate, but Messi gives the ball away, doesn't he, trying this?
Of course. You get these guys in top-end positions, you expect that to fly in the top corner. It doesn't. Does that make him a bad player?
And you'll never get criticism from your teammates or your manager if you try the right thing.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do the right thing and play the right pass, you'll never get any stick off your manager or your players.
And there's always a time and a place to play.
Yes.
Now, we've seen him give the ball away on the edge of his box, which has been costly. But that's the type of player he is. You're not going to knock
But here's the time and the place, isn't it? Try it there.
But don't knock this out of his game.
No.
You know, I've had plenty of rounds with managers in my career where they want you to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Get your pass completion high.
But the truth is, if you do that, Don, you're never going to create, are you?
Well, no.
If you keep it simple all the time, you never try.
Because my man there, Kevin Campbell at Dion Dublin, won't make a run. Because if I get it central midfield and I'm taught to keep it simple, I'm going to go, I see Dion and I know that he's in, I go, I've been taught to keep it simple. 5 yards. That moment's then gone.
It changed the game. Marcus Rashford, I've been to see United recently, Marcus Rashford will make 10, 15 runs. Because he knows that when Bruno's on the ball, I've got a chance of getting in on goal because he's always looking for a run.
Which makes you, as the centre-forward, go yippee every time. I will try every time.
Goals, that's what I'm thinking.
And if it gets cut out, you give it the old good idea,
well
don't
done,
you? Right idea.
You've seen it, but it didn't work on this occasion. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I had that at West Ham when I played with Tony Cottee. And Tony Cottee was one of the best at playing on the shoulder, 10, 15-yard runs. Anything after that, Tony wasn't great at sprinting 30, 40 yards. You put him through and you try the eye of a needle pass, you get him through, he scores, brilliant. The next time you try to do it, I have a needle pass, it doesn't come off. It doesn't come off. It doesn't come off. But he knows I'm trying to find him, so he's going to keep making that run.
I think what people have to be, people have to remember with Bruno is he's a positive player, so you have to, don't expect him to make these crunching tackles and don't expect him to chase back all the time because that's not his game. You have to allow him to do what he's good at. And I think Ollie's allowing him a little bit of leeway in regards to hard work. The players are allowing that because of what he brings going forward.
But I think what's really interesting is that fans, media, everybody, those who haven't played the game, you have to allow positive players to have a certain quota, which we've seen that when it doesn't come off. And you mustn't go, oh, what are you doing? That's the only way to score the goals, to be positive, to be optimistic and think, we're going to make this pass.
Because you can't play, like Don just said, you can't play that pass all the time and it come off all the time.
No.
You can try and play it, and it not work 8 times, but the 2 times it does play, Tony Cottee scores.
I've seen him live at Southampton. And for 45 minutes, he was having a nightmare. I say nightmare, I say that loosely. Kept giving the ball away, his passes weren't coming off. Second half, all of a sudden, I think Cavani come on at half-time, all the big guns are on. He scored, Bruno Fernandes, had 1 or 2 assists. They win the game from being 2-0 down. Can't knock that out of these guys' games.
Well, let's show everybody where Fernandes has done it, Don, and it has come off. As we said, he's been positive and it has had a reward.
What do you want first, goals or assists?
Let's start with assists.
Yeah,
because we've been saying, let's start with assists.
Right. Well, you know, this is Bruno Fernandes at his best, really. You know, what he is he's a player that loves to play difficult passes. And as you said, Dion, Rashford, Martial, Cavani, these guys come alive when he gets the ball.
Always on the shoulder of the defenders. Fernandes gets it. And those 2 players there that love a midfield player that gets the ball and looks up, first thing he does is, right, where's my centre forwards?
Rashford times that brilliantly, stays onside.
Just great. Go one run for the defender, in and then back in there. And he'll find you more often than not. And he'll be looking for his forwards as well. And Marcus Rashford will probably get 5, 8 goals from that one ball, that one run. Look at him looking now. He's assessing the picture. He knows exactly what's going on. He doesn't know who the personnel are. He can just see shirts. The timing of the pass is brilliant. He knows when to pass it.
He's got so many options now, hasn't he? And he scanned left-hand side, Cavani, probably about 5 seconds ago. And as it's a 2v3, he can go right Rashford. He can bend it in the bottom right-hand corner. But he knows the right pass is Cavani. And then look at the weight. Don't need to take a touch. Just go and bury that first time.
Yeah, it's the weight every time as well. It was the weight with the Rashford one, wasn't it, at Newcastle as well, which we've just seen.
And it's knowing, it's knowing what kind of play you have around you as well and who to pass it to.
Oh, I love that ball.
That is brilliant. Great first touch as this gets
and the thing, the beauty of this one is the pace, it's past 4.
Yeah.
It's past for the player.
You always say pass it into your strength.
Yes, absolutely. Pass it for the player, especially when you've got to finish like this, not to the player.
No.
So Rashford doesn't want that at his feet. No. Put it in there for me, because I'll beat the defender for pace. And look at that as well. That's
weight again, isn't it?
Absolutely outstanding.
I honestly think, and I stand by this, there's very few things you can teach in football. I think the way to pass you cannot teach. I don't think any analyst, any coach can say in that certain situation, they can say, I need you to do that, but how you get the biomechanics from your brain, right through your system to actually pulling off the pass, I don't think you can teach that.
It's hard to teach, isn't it? Because you have to bypass the player. You can't be short and you can't be too long. There's just a gap where the ball has to be so that when the player has gone into full swing, they're there and the ball's there at the same time. It's so difficult to do.
So look, he was since the 1st of Feb when he made his debut for Manchester United. More assists than De Bruyne. We've just discussed, Kane, those assists are all this season. We're going to get on to just how influential Liverpool's full-backs are. Min Song, obviously, in the Kane discussion. We'll get to Jack Grealish after the break as well. So it just shows the impact he's had with assists and with goals as well.
Goals is exactly what I've got coming up, Mark. I mean, this is now what you want when you're a player of Bruno's ability. Yes, have you got your assists? Tick that box. What you like is finishing Dion in front of goal. Carmany, look at this finish.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, the way he collects that first touch again.
Collects it and just steers it. No pace needed.
This is one of your favourites. Sometimes stand still, Don.
Love this one. So Bruno Fernandes, I'll pause that there. Just in this area. Now just keep an eye on him. He thinks about making Dion. He thinks about making a run into the box.
Yeah.
He thinks about it. He thinks, right, am I going to do that off the back of Michael Keane or defenders, or should I just stand still? So he does.
So as a centre forward, an out-and-out centre forward, that's what I should be doing. Midfield player now, like Bruno, can see where the space is. He knows the defenders have to go back to defend, and he's found that little pocket there. Sigurdsson can't get there. So he's thinking, if I just stay...
Yeah, you're running towards the near post as centre forward, aren't you?
And that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Take the defenders away, leave that space for people like Don coming in late, finding those little areas, and he's so intelligent with it as well. So intelligent.
I remember Coach saying to me when I was very early on in my career, when you get in the 18-yard box, always be on the move. And I took that to be so true to the nth degree. Then I got a bit of experience and I thought, if I'm in a good position, why would I want to be on the move and run into a bad one? So I started thinking about the game. And look at Bruno Fernandes. If a coach said to him now, right, can you be on the move somewhere? That's probably where he goes.
Yeah.
So he actually effectively marks himself if he does that.
So look what he does.
Yeah.
So he says, no, I'm going to stand still because this is the space. There's no space across the Everton defenders. I'll stand still. I'll be in that area there. Then I can now be on the move because he's got the flight of the ball. Then Dion textbook, isn't it?
It's a brilliant header. And what it is, he's in the right position. He's just assessing. He's looking around him all the time. He can say, well, nobody's marking me. I'm fine. Let me see what happens. I'm in the position I want to be in.
This is a Southampton game, second half. This is a game where he wasn't having a good game in the first half. Touch, finish. Got United back in the game. Look, straight for the ball. I think that was 2-1.
Never takes someone, I know he scored there. Never.
Might correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's particularly quick.
No, I was just thinking that actually when he was going through.
He's just got an eye. No. He's got an eye where to be and where to run into and the space that he needs to run into.
Yeah, he's got good players around him as well.
What do you say? Pass the ball, pass time?
Pass the ball on, pass the time on. Simple as that.
That's what he's done.
Absolutely.
More goals and assists together than anybody since the 1st of Feb. So the fact that we're talking about Manchester United in the title race itself, he plays a large part in that, doesn't he?
Massively.
I mean, going to Manchester United and having the effect that he has, I don't know many other players that have done that just so quickly and, you know, reliant on him. He's a very, very good player.